welcome to the BFF Real podcast, where we pick a movie and we rant and review it, always keeping it 100% real. We're your hosts, Edgar.
And Jayla, and today we want to invite you into our conversation on the film 1001. And a little synopsis before we begin so we're all on the same page, and spoilers going ahead. Unapologetic and free spirited Inez kidnaps her 6-year-old son Terry from the foster care system. They set out to reclaim their sense of home, identity, and stability in a rapidly changing New York City. Edgar, how'd you feel about this movie?
I'm gonna be so honest with you. This might be like the least favorite one out of the ones that we've seen so far.
That is
Mhm.
horrendous. How dare you? Even worse than.
Okay. Okay, I'm just kidding.
Uh,
Um,
better
no,
be.
this movie was amazing. I loved it. It had amazing writing, and I can't wait to like go deeper into like the plot. This is one of my favorite plots so far. Yeah, how did you feel?
I really liked it too. It was like, I'm not a drama person. Like, for me, I'm a notoriously bad movie stopper. And if there's even like a hint of uncomfortableness, I will pause the movie, walk away, like take a lap.
Cringiness,
Listen,
cringy. You can't do cringy.
it's not just cringe, it's like deep and like uncomfortable feeling all around, whether it's like
Mm.
cringiness or, so in this case, like drama. But I didn't stop it as much as I thought it would. I did stop at some parts, and I'll get to it. But
Damn.
but no, that
Movie
doesn't take.
poster.
I am, and even doing so, I feel like that didn't take away from it. I really like this movie, and I feel like it hit home. I feel like a lot more people should watch this if they haven't, because I feel like so many people can relate.
Well, watch it and then come back.
Hmm.
Unless you don't mind spoilers, then just listen to us
Just
and
keep
then
going.
watch it. But you should definitely watch it. But you
Hmm.
should also definitely listen to this
Hmm.
whole
Like, come back.
podcast. Yes,
Like
both.
pause
Yeah.
right now.
Mhm.
Look at the time period you're at right now, and then come back. That's our warning going forward. So yeah, I also enjoyed it a lot. Um,
Mhm.
and you know what's it's weird because I wanted to watch this movie because right now is Women's History Month, and I thought it would be more about Inez's journey. But I'm not mad at how it infused
Mhm.
both her journey and her son's
Both.
journey. Yeah,
I was no. I'm not gonna lie. It threw me off.
yeah,
Like, cause in
I
the
agree.
very beginning, it starts out like I did not mind it, mind you. It wasn't like a bad, but it did throw me off. I think they could have like done that transition a little smoother if they were gonna do that transition. But I mean, let's say so. In the beginning of the movie, it starts out as Ines being the protagonist of the film. However, very quickly, actually, the first time skip, as soon as the first time skip happens, the protagonist shifts to her son, not her anymore.
Yeah,
So we're experiencing the film through her shoes for literally like the first, what, 20 minutes? It was
yeah,
more than that. It was like 30 minutes, 30, 40 minutes, something like that. But anyways, like as soon as like that first time skip happens, like she's not the protagonist anymore. We're experiencing through someone else's shoes. And I how do you feel about that? Before I
look,
say yeah.
yeah. I feel like in the moment I didn't notice it as badly because,
Mm-hmm.
and like, if we're thinking about films like that, what comes to mind immediately is Moonlight or Moonlight, Moonlight, where it follows
I
the
have
little
not watched
kid.
it.
You haven't? I thought we both watched it.
Mm-mm.
No?
Let me Google it.
Well, in Moonlight, it follows the
No
little kid.
spoiler.
No spoilers, because this is just like plot wise.
Yeah, I have not
It
watched that
starts off with the
movie.
little kid. You should watch it, by the way. I recommend, but we're talking about 1001 right now. Starts off with this character. He's a little kid, and he grows up, and he has a mom, and he has like parental figures, but they're never the central focus. And I feel like that's with a lot of films where if you're focusing on parent child relationships, it's either like 100% and like a little bit of the
Mhm.
child, or vice versa.
Yeah.
It's 100% and a little bit of the adult. But this movie, I feel like, in hindsight, I feel like they play with it really well. Starting off very strong with Inez's, like, her focal point, and then slowly shifting to when he becomes an adult. I feel like it does something that those other movies kind of lose, and that's just like, I don't know, the balancing act of making both of them seem human and not just parent and child. You know, I feel like they did a really good job at this one. Do you agree? Or do you feel like it, how did you feel?
I did like that we saw like the different point of views. Um and I very much like the fact that like it transit like the main character like transitioned from one to the other basically like that. I love that actually. I do believe that they could have made that transition a little smoother because it was like we have nothing from the kid. We got like nothing from the kid, and it was like time scheme, boom, like a whole different thing. You know, it wasn't like I feel like they could have been willing to like work it up to that or something like that to like just make that transition so it's not because like I know you mentioned like oh you didn't notice it or something, but like I did, and it kind of hit me
Mm,
like wait, like oh this is I didn't mind it, but it like I said, like it was a bit like confusing, like for that second.
mhm.
So I do feel like they could have done a better job, but at the end of the day, I love that they did it.
That
Yeah,
it
if that makes
happens.
sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I feel like that being the time skip is appropriate because now we go from Inez being a young adult to him, Terry, being a young adult. And like, it's keeping up that theme of just like being that age gap and how you're like dealing with life in New York. In New York. You ever been in New
Well, he
York?
wasn't a young adult. He was a teenager.
He
Young
was.
adult.
He was. He was a teenager. You're right.
He
You're
was
right.
13. Like young adult, 13-year-old.
He was.
Girl.
I take it back. Listen, I was thinking like later college life, but you're right. You're 100%
Yeah,
right.
17. That's the oldest we got.
That's true.
Yeah, so and she was what 22 when the film started. So she was 22
Let's talk
and
about
he
that.
was 6.
When she said, my mouth dropped when she was like, I'm 22 years old. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. I'm
What, you
22
don't
years
think
old.
Tiana Taylor looked 23?
No, she looks timeless. I'm gonna say it. The makeup that she was into,
I
that
know. She looks so fucking fine in that whole movie. I was like, "Ooh, this bitch is hot." I'm not gonna lie. Like, ooh, I'm gonna have
that, but
suspicions
she's
of that.
also giving auntie. I have aunts
Auntie,
that,
she's like favorite auntie. Like that.
yes,
That's the auntie. Like,
looks,
bad bitch
personality,
auntie.
the attitude, yeah, yeah. And this whole, and
Mm-hmm.
that just like goes what I was gonna say earlier about how like this hits. A lot of the stuff that they're talking about is like real in the fact that I feel like I have
Mm-hmm.
aunts and like my mom too is just going through different aspects of this
Like,
life.
no, that's why I love the writing so much. You
Yeah,
can tell it was written by like a
but
black
yeah,
woman.
100%.
That you could tell because like we've known these people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like this is like this situation is very like it's weird because like we kind of see it being depicted here and there, but you
Mm-hmm.
can tell that those writers are like going off of like
Personal,
or like I wouldn't say like stereotypes necessarily, but like it this like you can tell is so freaking authentic.
yeah.
It's raw. It's this felt I don't know how to put it into words, but
And let's go specifics then because I think authentic is a perfect word because what are we talking about? We're talking about cussing at your kid when they're like when
ooh,
you're upset with them, but also turning around and be like, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that. And like she's
mm,
sincere when she says that, but still cussing at a little kid. That's like that's
mm-hmm.
authentic. Like, is that oh, what scene got me? And I was like, ooh, it was when Terry first meets Lucky and he sees him on the couch over there, and he walks in, and he's like, "Who's this man over there?" You know? And Nez pops over. She's like, "Why you acting? Why you being scared, staying over there?" I'm like, "Girl, I would have done the same thing."
No, but it's how that's how it
Yes,
be. I can't.
man
We
on the
both
couch.
have been through that, Jay.
Oh,
I'm not gonna lie. Hopefully, none of our parents are like, we've been through that.
seeing
It's so
a
real.
grown man
The
on the couch.
exact same
Yo,
scenario.
yeah.
But the exact same scenario. Like, you minding your business in your house, la la la. You turn the corner, a random ass man. Oh, you say, what is that? I shit you not. Has that ever like
Yes,
generally happened to you? It
I'm just
happened
sitting
to
there
me.
like, okay.
Like, this is like capturing the hood experience. Like, you had to be there to live it. I'm
Ugh,
not gonna lie. Mm-hmm.
that was like the one
Mm-hmm.
of the big moments where I
I
was like,
got
"Ooh," I felt like, yeah,
mm-hmm.
that
mm.
was.
Mother's
Ooh,
supposed to know so.
listen, I'm saying we know family and have family that's been in these situations. Authentic was the perfect word.
We've
Another
been
thing,
in this situation.
listen,
I'm not listen. I mean, y'all can hear the beeping, so
ah, guess whose house it is? Actually, don't. I'm gonna come for you in the comments if you do. No, but another another one that hit was when Lucky died. We've been said spoilers. When Lucky died, and across the street, you see this woman.
we've been this. No, you not giving a fuck. Like, we've been this. This shit was warm. Your ass was like, we're not going on to the
Listen, nah, no, 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 no,
wrong.
no. No. I'm talking about real life experiences right now. I'm in my feels. When Lucky died, and Terry was looking across the street at this woman holding a kid, and he's like, "Ma, who is that?" And he was like, "Oh, that's Lucky. That's
Not the
Lucky's
damn Tylenol.
baby mama and his daughter. Go get them a plate." Yeah.
JLo, do you have siblings that you've either never met or like have only like met like once?
Now, why am I in it? Now, why am I
I'm
in it?
asking you.
Why?
You can
Why
ask me
is
the same
this
question
pertinent
too.
to the conversation? Yes, but also,
No, me too, bitch. It be like
no.
that.
Um, I
Listen,
really
if you
do.
Caucasian persuasion and you out here listening to
What
this, it be like
persuade?
that. Watch the film. It'll connect you to the people.
That's insane to say. Ooh, that's insane to say. But also the guidance counselor looks so much like my aunt. It kind of creeped me out. I was like, she must be Cape Verdean. I looked it up. She's not. But I was like, there's no, she must be something. There's something mixed
Should
in
be
there.
something.
Because, yeah. So, yeah, this film hit home and it felt real. And you know what I was thinking?
She remind me of one of mine too. I'm not gonna lie. A lot
I'm
of
right.
a lot they she looked just like
It was the guidance counselor, Mrs.
she looked like island people.
The one who
Like
snitched.
Island Black.
Yeah. Yes.
Island Black.
Yeah.
She looked
I
like
think
Island
it's the
Black.
eyes. I don't know. But the one who snitched, that's crazy. My aunt would never snitch. Let's get that straight. But no. So a question I had was, so we know Inez was 22, but did you feel closer when you're watching the film to Inez's character, or did you feel closer to Terry? Because we were 22, so we have kind of the mindset of Inez right now.
We were 22?
No, we weren't.
Bitch.
No, we are right now 22. Girl, wait. We are right now 22, so we can think like a 22-year-old. And Terry at the time was 7, and we've been 7, so I guess we have knowledge of 7-year-old, kind of like what they've been, I guess. Um, so yeah, who did you feel more connected to? At least in the first half of the film, I'll ask. Like
First
before,
half.
yeah,
Um well, clearly her, because he wasn't the focus. Like that's how it works.
Mm.
he was a little kid, a little, you know.
I mean, yeah, but okay. So let me say it this way. Let me say it this way.
I felt for
So,
her. I was like,
like for instance, the kid, I felt closer to the kid actually, only because like the mom felt very much like my mom to the point where I cannot like I was the
relate.
kid. I was
I
no,
relate to
not
you
relate,
truly.
but like I felt it so much that I was in the little kid's shoes that
Hmm.
because like you know what I mean. So like we were just talking about how we literally walked up and a man was on the couch before
Yeah,
and
I
like
mean, I related to that. But like when you say like felt more for, like
oh
I
you mean
interpret it
like
as like, oh
empathize.
damn.
Okay,
Yeah, like
yes.
I was like more in the mother's like brain wave.
Okay, yeah.
Clearly, I can't relate to a freaking 7-year old or 6-year old.
Mm,
So, I mean, I related to like some experiences, but
mhm.
like I wasn't able to fully relate to that character because like first we weren't following him. So yeah.
I mean, yeah. I'm thinking like being very young and having kids, quote unquote, having kids.
Mhm.
We'll get to that. But like, I was about to say I can't relate to that. We'll get to that. But I mean, like, oh, you remember the cute little scene where they were on the bed and they were reading a book and it was really cute because like they had just moved into
Mhm.
the apartment
And
and
the book was something something mother or something like that.
yeah, and it was really cute and it
Yeah.
was like a bonding moment between them. I'm like, okay, so in this bonding moment, who do I feel more like? Who am I like seeing myself as the little kid who's reading it with the mother, or am I being like the mother towards a kid?
Your mama ever read to you?
Listen, a little
My mama
sometimes.
never read to me. Oh,
Damn,
you lucky.
damn. You ain't never held up in an apartment
Listen,
getting read to. No,
girl.
your mama never forged your identity. No, damn. No, I'm kidding. Mine did not. I would like to say mine did
No,
not.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna get into it. However, like, girl, that
Protect your
plot
peace.
twist. Did
Oh,
you like that plot twist? That was a good ass fucking plot twist.
that was
I did
and
not see that coming. But yeah, but I want to kind of go back to and kind of like talk about the what's it called? Um, I want to go back to and talk about the damn. I can't think of it right now. Okay, the man. Yes, the man in the house. So, because we hear her say that like he was locked up too. 'Cause, like she was locked up and he was locked up too. Is like oh, because she went to her friend's house, and then her friend was like, oh, does he know? And he's like, I assumed that he was like the baby daddy.
mm, mm.
But then that's why it was weird because like he got out, but like we never saw him got out. It was like oh, stranger at our house. But then I assumed like he was the baby daddy from like previous dialogue that she was having with her friend, and then it was like oh no, like yo, that ain't my kid. I'm like, what do you mean that ain't your kid? You ain't tell him that that's his kid. I was like, oh,
Oh, you was
but
confused.
apparently, girl, I was like, okay, and
Wait,
then
no. When she was talking to her friend, she was like, "Is it Lucky's?" And she was like, "No, I was broken up with Lucky when Terry was born."
really,
She said something along those lines, like she wasn't with.
yeah.
Yeah.
So or what I remember. I don't know if I'm wrong. I might be wrong, y'all. Um, but it went along like does he know? But
Mm,
then she said we were broken up when it happened, and
right.
then he got like locked up. Basically, like that's what I got from that.
Oh,
You
okay.
know,
Hmm.
so he was locked up when basically the kid was born, aka we know damn well. Like that's how like it was
That's what
interpreted, at least like
okay.
for the audience, in my opinion.
Hmm.
Clearly, we find out that that's not what happened.
Like at all.
But Oh no, that plot twist was in freaking. I have not seen like it's been so long since I've been like at a plot twist, like mouth
Like,
open, like what the fuck?
huh?
That yeah.
It's not only
Mhm.
just like a huh, it's a for what reason? Because, like, it's something
No,
you
I was
can't
like,
even fathom.
girl, I'm not gonna lie. I was minding my business.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Hmm.
I don't know if I should admit to this. Okay, it's been a busy day.
You feel me?
I'll start with that, y'all. Don't judge me, people.
Go ahead.
And I never do this usually, but it's been a busy day. So I was watching this film in my lovely phone. I was paying attention. I was
Mm.
watching this film while I was grocery shopping.
Oh my
I was in the
gosh,
grocery store watching this movie.
that's
Girl, the
insane.
way I audibly gasped in the damn bread aisle.
Not in
I
the
was like,
bread
ooh.
aisle.
I was like, ooh.
Not you in the Wonder Bread. Oh my gosh.
Oh, now you're promoting brands out here for free.
Not. I do not. Not sponsored. Non sponsored.
Girl, I cannot. Like, but I was stunned.
Why are we being around it? What was the plot twist? Go ahead. What were you stunned at?
How the
Let
fuck
us
do we?
know.
We're not there yet. Okay. So, come to find out. So, okay, this should be said for. So, little bro, he's like very smart, and he's out here applying to schools. He got into like amazing high school, and then because of that, he got into like an amazing college. Like he got into like a lot of colleges.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to make that decision, like what college am I gonna go to? So he's out here applying for colleges, and like he also trying to get a job, like to help out his mama because his mama's struggling. His dad or his stepdad, he um
Lucky.
got cancer. He's
Yeah.
like locked up. He's in a like in the hospital with cancer. So he's trying to get a job to like help out his family. And his counselor, like she's like helping him out a lot, like with school and like guiding him and like making sure like he has a bright future. And she's like, okay, I'll find a job for you. She found a job for him. He's like, okay, you gotta apply. But then the social come back, and she's like, oh shit, the social come back. The thing is, he knows that he was kidnapped, and he knows like he's aware like that he can't go near police because they're gonna find out and they're gonna lock his mama up because he was kidnapped from the system, basically.
Right.
Turns out he was kidnapped. Not kidnapped from the system. He was kidnapped.
Like
Girl, that was like all along. We've seen like stages of this boy's life. Like he grew, like, and we saw like her struggle with her kid. She was
mhm.
struggling with that kid. As soon as she got out of prison, she went to find that kid. She was struggling with him. She wasn't even his mom.
Jerry said,
Like
"You are
she
not the
barely like
mother."
it. What? It's a random kid she just stole from foster. He was in like foster system and stuff. He was gonna get displaced, but she basically just stole him. And yes, there's a little more story to that, but also it's like at the end of the
That's
day, that ain't your kid.
She's still a kid at 22. She is still a kid, stealing another kid.
Mm-hmm.
Still
Jill,
22.
would you still a kid right now this year? Would you still a kid?
Them kids.
Mm-hmm. Fuck
I
them kids.
was shocked. I was so shocked.
Mm-mm.
I
Babe. You know they could, but you know they could afford things easier back then. It was like the 90s.
must. She was able to get by doing hair,
Mm-hmm.
doing hair.
Went here. Mm-hmm. She was so smart for that. I was like, you better. She went
She
out
likes
as soon
to
as she got out of
do
the prison. You saw her like hanging outside. Was like, yo, I'll
fires.
go over and
Yep,
I'll do your hair. And she knew how to do hair, and as she should, and she loved doing hair. I was like,
good for her.
mm.
But that's like a 90s. That's such a
Do you
90s
have
thing.
any? Do you have anyone in your family that ever like did hair or like? Do you?
My mama.
Mm-hmm.
I
My
told
auntie
you,
too, girl.
you're right. You're
It's the
right.
experience.
a 90s thing. It's such a
Listen,
90s. Ugh. Oh, and the outfits.
if
We talked about her looks.
this is, I'm gonna say this is like a perfect. We're gonna answer that. This is a perfect like biography or like piece. Like if a white person wants to get hip into how it is, like watch this movie. Like is literally this is like the perfect because like there's like stereotypical movies and this movie does go into like but it's so real.
Yeah, I
Like
wouldn't say
from
it's.
everything I've seen.
You said authentic. I'm gonna keep using that word because it's not like the
Mm-hmm.
hip hop, like, oh,
It is
90s, we're just gonna be like thugging on the streets all the time. No, you see the streets as she
right,
walks by. You see she has like the fly clothes, but it's not like
right.
the hip hop in your face, the characterized
And
90s.
there's like stuff to it, like oh yeah, there's like crime and shit like that, but like
Yeah.
she's also like you also see like the other side of that too. Like oh, it's
Mhm.
not
There's like,
just that. It's like
and
it's
that's
the story behind everything. You know.
there is. And like across the film, you
Mm-hmm.
hear these newscasts about like things that's happening in New York throughout the 90s,
Mm-hmm.
and like
Yeah.
they tie it in. Ooh, it's really nice. It's
Mm-hmm. Like oh, the crime rates, police brutality, like everything.
hmm
Oh, this movie's so well made.
hmm
It's like you can tell. Oh my gosh, so many props to the writer, so many props to the director. Like you can tell, like they're from the community. They
hmm
love the community. They care about the community. The experiences. This is their family who they wrote about. You know, you can
and
tell that.
like again, if you're adding up what we said, like we are, right now, we were not born in the 90s. We did not grow up in the 90s.
Woo.
But like what we're saying, this is so real because our parents did, and we see like the parallels in our parents, even if they weren't in New York. My mom wasn't in New York, but
Well, our parents were a little younger than that by that age. They were children. In
they were,
1994, this is where this movie first takes place. In 1994, our
yes,
parents were literally like not even teenagers.
my mom was a teenager, I think.
Well, yeah, they were almost teenagers, but they were not teenagers.
My mom was
Mm-hmm.
14. Do that math.
14?
Yep, my mom
In
was a little bit older
1994.
than your mom. So still, yeah, she was younger than the depicted person. But if you just bump up that age and then bump up
Above
my age,
14.
okay, okay,
Still, they're
yes.
children.
But like that style still carried on. Like literally, I'm thinking
Mm-hmm.
about the red
Yeah,
lips
pretty
and then the mole and then the hoops and then the yeah,
much.
yeah, just so on
Mm.
point. And that's why I feel like I can say. And then his style when he grew up in the 2000s, yes, that was accurate as well. You know, it doesn't seem like a style to us maybe because it's still like really close to then, but he still had that like I call it the Nelly style, and you can see that like it was on point. It was very good. But yeah, it's just really good how they connected those dots with that, and then seeing how like you said the brutality progressed throughout New York during or from 94 to 2005 as we go there. And yeah, it's the ooh, the gentrification.
Oh, mm-hmm. No, I was scared because I was like, "Oh, they better race rent on this girl."
They're about to
They
raise.
didn't. I'm so surprised they didn't raise rent, but
He
they did try to
said
kick her out.
that's what I'm saying. Literally right now, that's happening to my aunt. It started
Mm,
with a little leak, and now they had to leave their house because there hasn't been water for a couple weeks. I'm like,
that's
bro,
insane.
it's crazy too because you notice how he came to their apartment and said, "Oh, do you have any problems?" 'Cause she wasn't even trying to go to them and say that she had problems. He went to her first and was like, "Do you have problems?" And then he created all these problems to kick her out.
Mm-hmm.
They think they're smart, but it's so like the
They're like
manipulation
that
in that. They literally cause problems where there wasn't like any real ones. He's like, "Oh, your cabins are
because it
old."
was
He
like,
hates that.
no, it was
No,
like, "Oh,
it
your
was working
cameras are.
fine.
We're gonna change that," and then you like get the team, and then they do like half the work, and you're like, "Oh shit!" Like, "Oh, only half the work is done. You're gonna have to like leave.
It was
It's
working just
unlivable
fine.
anymore."
It
It's
was
just
working
like,
just fine
well,
before
now I
that.
don't have a bathroom. Now I don't have like basically have a kitchen. Like, what am I supposed to do? And he's like, well, you
You can leave.
leave
He literally was
until we
like,
fix it.
he's like, you don't have a place to
Hmm.
stay.
I'll
And
tell you, white people are
mind
evil.
you,
If you're white and listening to this, you gotta understand
oh,
your people be doing some crazy stuff.
that's a good marker to say because that
And
guy
that's
was
a
white.
fact.
The landlord, the new landlord, was white. That's, you know,
Yeah, no, white people be evil, like out of nowhere. It's insane.
PSA. New
Not
people
all
do
white people. We love white people. We have white friends. So I'm not saying all white people, but I'm like a lot of white people. Look at history.
The cops just frisking
Mm,
him down the street, and like they
mhm,
asked. So that happened to Terry and was it P or Peace or something? They were walking down the street, and then the cops come up and frisk them. But again, I really like how it's not like the over stereotypical. Oh, the police are here! Everybody
mhm.
run! It's the genuine like they're pushing you against the wall and frisking you up because they could. They literally talked about as
Yeah.
the stop and frisk or the word that got popular because cops were just going around and like patting people up and like
Hmm. And they still do it. Mm.
and they
You know
didn't say
what? This
why
ain't
they were doing it
political.
as it should. This movie is political.
Oh, I'm saying like our podcast, so I'm like, let's not get into it because I'm
Listen,
like, oh, it's still happening
I'm
today.
just
But no,
saying
we're not
it's
going to talk
real.
about that.
It does happen today, but
Mm-hmm.
the idea of just frisking them, not saying why, not saying what they're looking
Mm-hmm.
for, just out of nowhere, it's real, and uh, they just captured it really well and good for
Mm-hmm.
them. Hmm.
They did. This film was freaking amazing. The writing, and I should have been like writing these down, but like, yo, I was grocery shopping. I,
You want to talk about ghetto? Go ahead. Yeah.
throughout some throughout some of the film, there were some like quotes and some dialogue that I just heard, like monologues and stuff. Oh my, the writing! I was like, it was perfect.
Hmm.
It's insane. Like this is a movie like my whole life I'm gonna refer back to, and I have to watch this again. It's a 100%. I have to watch this film again.
Ooh, coming from
The
you, that's ooh okay.
the writing is so good. Like if I ever need like inspiration or anything like that, like I'm gonna come to this like, yo,
Mm.
damn, they popped off.
I will.
They was working their asses off in that writing studio. I know.
I
Mm,
agree, and I'll say it wasn't so much like definitely the dialogue hit me, but it was more
mm,
about like the portrayal of that that stuck
mm.
with me
The
more.
acting,
The acting, definitely, yes, because like
the actor was like the cast was so perfect.
yeah, they did their thing.
Like
Hmm.
every person who was casted was so perfect, and it wasn't like it didn't feel like they were casting like models and like well known.
Exactly. Hmm.
Not Tiana Taylor, girl,
That's
you
it.
famous as heck. But
Hmm.
besides that, like
Like
everyone
Lucky.
felt like real. Like everyone felt like, oh, you're from the community. You know, like
Hmm.
it felt like, oh, these are the cousins, these are the neighbors, these
Hmm.
this is the damn landlord. Like no one was like the even like the teenagers and stuff like that, or like the kids, people that played like Lucky wasn't.
He was
Say that.
so. It's interesting because I want to compare it, but not really. I want to compare it to the Angry Black Girl and Her Monster, only because the Angry Black Girl and Her Monster used local
Are you
actors.
talking about the worst film we've
Listen,
watched,
listen,
and
no,
then
no,
like
no,
the
listen, listen, listen,
best
listen.
films?
I'm saying this because the Black Girl and Her Monster used local actors, and you could tell though.
Oh really?
Yeah, you could tell. Like between the acting, it was local. It was like they found people in that town, and they were like, "Can you act in this film?" And it just you could tell. But here,
At least not the main character because she's famous.
oh, then maybe not. Yeah, but like those background characters, I know a lot of them were local because I searched it up, and it said so.
You're like, I'm right, you're wrong.
I think
I
so.
mean, I believe it. I believe it.
So like yeah,
Um, but the main character, Leia DeLeon Haynes or whatever,
She is not.
she's definitely like mega famous.
Oh
She's been
wow.
like in a lot of stuff. Yeah, like I definitely recognize her, like
Okay.
her face.
Okay.
Yeah, she's been in a lot of shit actually, a lot. So
I'm just like contrasting that to this movie in the way that Lucky feels like a man out of the 90s,
like out of the street,
out of the street, honestly, who can act though.
he does. He can't act, and he's not. He's an actual very.
He's an actual actor.
He's an actor. Yeah, he's been
Yeah.
in stuff. He a damn good one, and
Mhm.
he's not. This is gonna be no shade, no
Like
shade,
little
y'all.
shade.
But like,
Go off.
he's not like your stereotypical like damn like super hot type. And I love when people when they just cast people that look like people. I'm not
Yeah.
saying he's ugly. He's not ugly by any means.
No.
He's not ugly, but he's not like model like like
Mhm.
unrealistically like this person looks like he could be a father. He could be one of your friend's fathers.
Exactly.
Like he could be your cut. He could be your other cousin. That's your uncle right there. Like
Hmm.
he feels like that. Not but ugly, like not one of
No.
them but ugly ones. Like he's just decent, like regular, very average looking. And they were all, besides clearly Deanna Taylor, gorgeous
Right.
ass, you're all very much like average looking people. And I
Hmm.
love when films do that.
Yeah. And they ate with that choice. And even like the
Mm.
little kid
They were
as
good actors. They
yeah,
were all good actors. The kid actors, they were
as he went
all
through movie
good.
stage, really good. And like he
Hmm.
sold being the little not sold like he sold it, but like
Hmm.
he was the good job as being like that awkward little kid and like just quiet.
Hmm. You could tell. I feel like every single person, like not every single person, at least like the immediate family, it felt so real. It felt like okay, these people have been in these situations. These people
Mm,
grew up in these communities. These people like know who these people are because it
yeah.
felt just like that. I was like, damn.
They knew how to
Oh, this is so good. I'm sorry.
it,
Mm,
yeah, okay. We talked about it a little bit, but going on this like acting this way, the whole idea of her and going back to the spoiler of the big plot twist, she said that she took him because there was one day where she was on the street corner and she was with him. He was really really young, and she was just sitting there for hours hoping someone would come and get him. But no one ever
mm-hmm.
came, and
That's
she
so
saw
sad.
her. That was that. And she said she
Did
saw
you
her.
cry?
I was almost crying. They almost caught me crying in the club. Huh?
You never cry in movies, Shayla.
I I
No,
cry
you
in
don't.
movies sometimes.
Yeah,
I
you
tell you one, but
sometimes.
I've cried in at least one movie before.
At least one. No, I am such.
A
I'm not gonna say
crybaby,
that.
a
No,
cancer
I'm not gonna say
baby.
that. No.
I didn't say anything.
See how I know you? Like I'm no.
But you knew it. Uh
I'm
huh.
emotional.
Mm.
Sometimes I'm an empath when it comes to emotions, right?
Oh yeah.
So I'm not gonna lie. I was in the veggie aisle tearing up.
That's a big.
I was like picking up my vegetables,
Not you getting your yams and crying on your yams and shit. That's, mm.
like.
But let's think
I
about
teared up, like specific, like just at that scene though. But
it.
like that scene, like when they were like having that heart to heart, and she was like telling her like what happened.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I saw you, like so fucking alone. Nobody wanted you, like
Mm-hmm.
that.
And then she just kind of stayed with
Uh,
him for the rest of it. Well, until she couldn't. She went to jail. But she stuck with him, and it's like,
so
damn.
she could.
She went back to this person who's not related to her by blood,
Mhm.
which is so. How do you feel about that decision think of real life world? Because basically, yeah, she loved
A lot of
him.
people do this.
True,
Well,
but
a lot
she
of people
made
do this
him
with their actual sister.
right. But that, you know what she did? She made them kind of share a trauma bond. They bonded because they both have been left in this
Or
foster care
lonely,
system.
yeah.
So like,
Well, we don't know if she was in the system,
no, she said
but
she
we know
was.
like she. Oh, she was.
Yeah,
Damn.
she not only said she found
Yeah.
herself in it, but she was like, I didn't grow up with parents, and that's that. Yeah, that's why she has this attitude. But
It was. I mean, at the end of the day, like she gave that little boy like a better life, like
that's true.
point blank. Period.
Hmm.
Because she really loved him. She gave him a house. Like she worked her ass off to raise that kid.
She
Like
did.
it wasn't like she was a deadbeat. She was not a deadbeat. I seen deadbeat mothers. She was nowhere near that,
Mm-mm.
like at all. And
And
if
she
people
cared
like,
for that little kid.
let's say like you don't come from like this environment and you see this movie and you think like, oh, she's a bad parent by any means, I promise you she's an
She's not.
amazing parent.
Hmm.
Because they ain't no like, oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, no, she was amazing. And it felt so hard because like everything she did like was for that kid. That wasn't even her kid. Everything she was working her ass out, making sure like he went to school, da da da. So he got into colleges. He got into a good high school, got into college. Like that
Hmm.
was just amazing. Like,
I just amazing. She is. But if we're
mm-hmm.
thinking about it, she was still a kid at that point. Like,
She's crazy.
she
No, she's straight up. She's probably like a little bipolar or something.
we just
Because even like she
like
definitely,
it's
it's so real. It
so
was
because like remember when
mm,
they were arguing and
mhm.
he was
And
like,
then
you
she just
took
like
me,
started throwing shit.
that too, but also he was like,
Mm.
you took me, and she was like, you wanted to come, and he's like, I was 7, and like she genuinely kind of felt like he was a little bit responsible for it because she was a kid too, and it was like, yo,
A kid. She was 22.
but she
She
was,
was your age. Are you a kid?
I'm
No.
a, I'm
Ooh, no.
listen, I can't deny it.
Oh
Can I take care
no,
of a
it
kid right
was.
now? No. Have I been? No. Uh, listen,
This is common to me. No,
listen.
but no. She it's hard because like we know what she did was wrong and she should have done that. She
Right,
should have worried about her damn self because she like we saw like she could have like done so much for herself too,
right.
but she chose to like what she did was so it's so hard because what she did was so wrong
Hmm.
and low-key selfish, but it was so selfless. Like it was more selfless than it was selfish. Yes, she wanted a family like that was her dream. Like when her boyfriend got out, like that's what like their whole dialogue. Like I want like a perfect family. Like that's what I want.
Hmm.
I want a family. And she ain't never had a family, and he ain't never really got a family like that. They ain't got nobody, and this kid was about to like go through the same thing basically. Yeah.
So, do you
What do
think?
you think?
I was about to ask. So, do you think him going with her was ultimately a better, not choice, but was better for him than the potential of getting a
Yeah, of
family
course.
through foster care?
Well, the thing with foster care
Yeah,
is it's like one in a million chance basically. It's like winning the lottery.
especially in
Like
the,
especially with
yeah,
parents. Cause there's so many and I've known people who's gone through this and there's always like stories and stuff like that. Like I have
yeah.
friends in foster that are currently in foster care right now, you know.
Hmm.
Um it's not it's so rare for you to like get a good
Hmm.
placement, but most of the time, especially for black kid like a
People are
black boy, black boys in the foster system, people don't want people don't want black kids, especially men, black boys, and that's just a fact. So yes, like it would have been like one in a million chance, just like winning lottery, like
hmm
that he would have had a better, as good or better situation.
than what ultimately
So
happened. So you
yeah, and
think,
like the opportunities that she gave him, like he's going to college, you know, he's going to a
yep.
good college. He went to a good SI school,
Hmm.
and now that he's back in the foster system. He's gonna go to college for free. So
You better write that. His letter is about to be. Oh, yeah.
But he already got in though. So I was like,
Oh,
girl, I was kidnapped. And the thing is, he got a good out because he knew he was like technically kidnapped, and then
I
he
think he wrote that
could have
in.
maybe like got into trouble. But like she was saying mama, and he did not know that.
That's true.
So that's like they might let this guy be like, mm.
That's
But
true.
like that's what I'm saying. Like at the end of the day,
Uh huh.
we know this outcome was good for him instead of like that 1 in a million chance. Like, oh, maybe like 1 in a million chance he would have gotten like in a similar scenario with a like actual foster adoptive family.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I agree.
What do
Because
you think?
I agree. Because as we're shown, not all of it's peaches and roses. She was still
Mm-hmm.
immature. She cussed at him. She did some violent stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he himself, he
She
was
was
still
young. She ain't know better. And mind you, she
exactly
spent like like a year in prison. So
in
like keep that in mind
prison.
too.
She never had
And
children
she was
herself.
just 22 when she got out. She was 22 when she got out.
Hmm. And we
We
can
didn't
see
know like
like
how old she was when she met him. Let me see. When she met him, she was literally like math. Wait, she was like 18. She was 18 when she found him in the curb.
hmm
18. Imagine. Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
And she just saw
Like,
herself in him. And
cause she had no one. Like,
yeah,
it's like, oh, I'm a baby and like have no one, and this is what it was, and like here's the baby. Like, that's just so heartbreaking. Like
it's
when you sit there,
heartbreaking.
like think about it, it's like, oh my gosh.
And
Mhm.
also, like, I didn't look it up or anything, but this could have, it probably did happen. Like, the foster care system in the 90s being,
Especially when they said like, oh, it was even worse because like everyone's information was just in like what's it called, like
he's like, he
flashcards.
said, like, an index card worth of information got
Yeah,
him. That
like
is,
for each kid, like
that's insane. Like, now
mm,
that's insane. But that was only the 90s. Okay,
mm,
technically, it was like 20 years ago. So I guess a lot has changed.
20. That was literally 30 years ago.
Listen. Oh, yeah,
94.
literally to the year.
30
Okay,
years
I take it back.
ago.
I take it back. There,
You said 20. Ooh.
still 30 years. That doesn't. It is a long
It's
time.
definitely way better now. Like, not
Yes.
the system. The system's so a
It's
mess.
just- yes.
But like at least like
Keep
keeping
track.
track of like people, it's not in the sky anymore. Like people actually have
If
like
you
all
think
their
about
like
it,
account information. So that's good.
but if we think about it, like now that situation couldn't have happened now. So a little boy named Terry probably would have been trapped. She would have Inez would have never been able to get Terry. He would have been trapped in the system. He probably would have never gotten those opportunities that would happen.
Well,
Things
I
like
disagree with that.
really.
Yes, they have more info, but keep in mind he's still like a black boy in the foster system,
So
meaning
they would
ain't
have just
nobody was gonna look for him.
damn. You think
Even
today?
people with family, like there's people with like little, and this is happening right now. Actually, it's happening a lot right now. Like I
Mm-hmm.
always see like every day, like that, like in the community, like because I have like all the people like I grew up around Facebook. Almost like every week, someone kid go missing.
Mm-hmm.
And they never pop up. Like the police don't care about
Yeah,
little black kids that go missing.
yeah, they
And,
don't.
and these are people with family, like they're looking for them. They're like going to like police station, like, yo, like what are y'all looking for this person? Blah, blah, blah.
They
This
make
person
kids
had
go missing.
nobody.
They don't care. Yeah,
This yeah, this person has nobody. So like they would like, even today they would not look for that kid. Like
there might be a little
I'm not
commotion.
encouraging people to go. No, don't go out there and kidnap yourself a little black
Kids,
kid. You know what I'm saying?
don't be
No,
taking nobody's kids, please.
no.
Yeah,
But like I like, yeah.
yeah,
To be honest, honestly, they probably wouldn't look for a kid that went missing today either. So
yeah.
they look for like a day or two.
And then it
But
would just, if it's not a little white girl from Idaho, they don't care. But
oh, hmm
um, I want to talk
that's
about
exactly what I was thinking. I'm like,
yeah.
mm. No, I like when I was watching the movie, I was like,
That's what you're. Yeah, I want to talk about this. I'm gonna call it the older sister mother or the older brother father trope. And
ooh,
it's not actually a trope. It's like a real life parallel. So in this story,
Mm,
she's 22 and he was, what was it, 7 or 6?
six.
6.
Six.
That math,
So she
pretty
was
fast.
16 when he was born.
How old was it? You said what?
She was 16 when he was born.
16 age gap difference. Is that so
16.
crazy to you, Edgar?
No, I know
Not at
people like
all.
that.
Not
I'm not gonna lie.
at all.
Listen, it be like, I mean, how old was your mom when she had you? Because mine was 20. It wasn't 16, but like
Yeah, mine was
she had me when she just turned 20, mind
18,
you. So she was like 19 while the whole time she was pregnant.
24.
So
No, I'm not even talking about our mothers. I'm talking about our
uh,
siblings.
I know someone like that.
Uh,
Our siblings.
how much older are you from your sibling, from your closest sibling, on your mom's side?
On my mom's side,
Yes.
that's harder. That's a way bigger gap, actually.
Which
Oh
is?
shit. Ash. Like my youngest or my oldest?
Let's do oldest, just for.
Oldest. I don't. I'm not saying that.
Oh, you say
No, you don't count. No.
oldest? Bigger or less than this gap? Just say bigger or less.
You know the answer.
I do know.
No,
Okay, all
the
right.
people ain't gotta know.
Mine
I am
is
out of
very
that
close to this gap.
situation.
Mine is very close to this gap. I have a little sister who is uh, who is almost 16 years younger than me. I'm a little less.
That
Yeah,
nothing math.
do that math. I'm a little less. So like there's a little less of a gap. But
That nothing math.
I didn't say 16. I said I'm a little less than 16.
A little. There's a few years in that a little.
Yeah, it's like fine. I'm 13 years older than my younger sister. Make me say it. Go ahead.
I would
Um,
say that's close though. Like,
no, 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 no. Because I'm
yeah,
saying because she didn't take care of him until she was 22. I'm currently
yeah.
22, and my little sister is 10. Oh, so I guess 12 years gap. I bet. Um, and I take care of her
That's
because I
not
still.
16.
If she didn't take care of him at 16 though, she visited him
At
at 18.
18.
Was it? She stayed on the street corner with him at 18, but she didn't
Yeah.
officially take him until we saw at 22.
Yeah, when he was 6. When your sister was 6, you was like
Listen, my sister's
baby still.
10 right now. I'm
Yeah.
22. I take care
Mhm.
of her sometimes. And this trope, though, I call it the older sister mother because that gap is
The older
so.
sister acting like a mother.
Exactly. And the gap is, it's not large enough to be the mother, but it also feels too large to be the sister. So it's that weird
Yeah.
middle ground that I feel like is so real and a lot of black, would you say people of color or specifically black? Because I just know a lot of black people who have that gap, the older sister
I'll
mother.
say I'll say black. Yeah, I'll say it's a black thing. I don't think even like Latinos is Latino blacks. So it's like
Mm,
like the Caribbean Latinos. It's not the
islands.
South American Latino. I'm not saying that there's not here and there a few people like that because there
Yeah.
is,
Hmm.
but it's very common in like
In the, yeah. And you know what's
black, like Caribbean
the
blacks and
first
stuff.
time I've seen this being represented on TV was in Lilo and Stitch. And I thought it was so cute. And I felt like so related. I'm like,
Oh
relatable.
yeah,
I feel like, yes, I'm like the older
yeah.
sister mother. But
Mhm.
here, it was not only relatable, but it hurt. I was like, damn,
Girl,
relatable.
you're not to that extent.
It's
Pray to
not. It is
Jesus.
not. It's not.
You make the people know, ooh, what's she going through?
It's not a
No,
damn thing.
your mother's still there.
Yes, we still have a
No,
mother. Um,
no.
but that trope, I want to see it more. I want to feel it more. I feel like it's part of the representation that I don't know. I feel like it
A
goes
lot of
against
people go through.
a lot of people go through, and it also
Mhm.
goes against not the single mother, single black woman trope, but it. I feel like it does something to that trope. I feel like it.
Yeah,
I don't know. I feel like it could take
like
that.
normalizes it.
Yeah, and like make it less
So
about.
not as a way to for it to be normalized because it shouldn't be normalized. However, it's a way to like connect with people, like because
to see
it's real
yourself.
for a lot of us. You
Right.
know, I was in the same boat for definitely like little time. However, that's why I do not live with my parents.
Yeah.
Kudos to you though, sister, because I could not.
Taking care of
I left that
kids.
situation. I
I
had to do that for like a few like years.
mm-hmm.
Raising children at this age ain't for me. Good luck, sis.
Good
Bye.
lord. Mm.
Have fun with your kids. Anyway.
But no, yeah, that's I don't know. I just want to see that trope more. And that's crazy how I have these two movies, Lilo and Stitch, and this movie to like see this trope that I see every time in real life. Where is I'm calling it right now the what I say the older sister mother trope. I
But
want
this is
to
different though, because she's not like the oldest sister. She's just the mother,
actually
And there are young parents.
there
So
are young
I
parents.
would say like this is like slightly different than just like the mother sister show that you're talking about. I agree with
You
Lilo
think
and
so?
Stitch, but yeah, I think because keep in mind like her age, like when she actually started like raising that kid, like we know, or at least like I know parents that did start out at that age.
Mm.
Um, a lot of my high school friends.
Okay,
If you
so
went
let's
to a hood
pause.
high school, you know what I'm talking about. A
Right.
lot of my high school friends are out, like literally, like,
My
trying
shout
to like
out.
get out to like raise them kids. Quite a few of
That's
them.
true. I guess okay.
So it's
So the
sad.
difference is like
And our parents also weren't like that off when they started like raising kids
they
too.
were at least
So
in their
it's
twenties
kind
though.
of different because like you're not because there's a difference like when you're actually the sibling, you're raising your siblings.
Right.
It's
That's
like
true.
different. You're still raising kids,
That's true.
but like
How you treat
yeah.
them?
So
Are you treating them like your younger kid, or are you treating them like your
like
sibling,
your
or is it
younger siblings.
hard?
Because like Lyra says, she treat them like that was her younger sister.
Yeah,
That was her like, and here like that was her kid. So
that's
like there's like you're still raising them kids, but
hmm
there's like a slight. That's why like Aiden, it's a
okay.
little bit differently.
All right, that's fair. I'm gonna still consider it though. Even though
That's good. Listen,
listen,
whatever gets you to watch this movie again.
yeah, which I'm
Yeah.
fine with, but yeah, there's just one more thing I wanted to say about this movie, and it's the only
Say it.
nitpick. It's the only nitpick I
Mm.
have.
Mhm.
The ending. Picture. This is the ending, right? She is walking with Terry on the street, and they're kind of saying their final goodbyes, but it's not really goodbye because she literally hugs him, and she's like, "This is not goodbye.
Yeah.
I'll see you again.
Like I will be back.
Okay,
Hmm.
I always come back." She gets
She's
into
like
this.
Shucky.
She was literally, "I always come back. I'll kidnap you again." No, she didn't say that. Sorry, sorry. But
Bro.
she gets into the cab and she shuts the door, and the cab driver's like, "Where to?" And then she just looks into the camera and she's like, "Girl, that gave me." Did you ever see that commercial with the girl from 50 Shades of Grey? And she's like, the cab driver's like, where to, ma'am?" And she's like, "Home.
Home.
I'm going home."
Yes.
He's like, "I don't know
I'm
where the
going
fuck you
home.
live."
Yes. Yes.
That
Yeah.
literally gave
Yeah.
me this ending. I'm like, girl,
Like what?
why are you smiling in the distance? You just left your kid. Show me some like sadness or
I mean,
some
the kid's about to go to college literally like that. Yeah.
true.
Be
I'll be fine.
fine. And
But
he
like,
got to college for free now.
you're
This is so
fine.
fucked up. This is so fucked up. But like, hey, it's true.
That's true.
That's so trauma though.
He
Both
was
them people
scared.
need
Yeah.
hella therapy.
Yeah. He was scared too. It
Mm.
was, but
Cause it was like, mm,
yeah. It just that ending is home. I'm going home as ending. That's all I could think about. And I'm like, girl, why'd you wrap the movie like this? It's my nitpick, but it's funny enough for me to let it
mm.
slide. Did you care about that?
I did not care about that.
Okay.
Um, however, I think damn, what movie was it? Was it the last movie you watched? What's the last movie you reviewed, girl?
Pearl.
Pearl. It was not Pearl.
I was
Damn.
about to say, better not be Pearl.
Damn. Okay, remember we talked about a movie that like we saw like what happened next, basically like, oh, this is spoiling us.
um.
We've been watching too many movies.
Oh, is it the
Like,
black girl and her monster? Because she resurrected everybody. Is that what you're thinking of?
no, no, it was definitely not that movie.
Was
It
it
was,
Babs? We saw like
it was not Babs.
okay.
It was not Babs.
Go watch all
What
these,
was
by the
it?
way. Go watch all these. What
Yeah,
we
go watch
say.
all our reviews, plugs.
See what we're talking about.
What was it? Was it Color Purple?
So
It was not the Color Purple. Was it? I don't know. I wish we could have seen. I
the
cannot
reunion
believe
or
we can't
something.
remember.
That's crazy.
Like what happened next? Like the movie ended, but like what happened? Who was it? Was it American Fiction? I don't think so. I remember we were talking like, damn, this spoiled us because like we never get to see like what happened next, like in movies, like to get like that nice ass resolution.
Oh, are you sure it wasn't Babs?
I don't think it's bad. Was it Babs?
Because
It might have been Babs.
I was like, I think it was Babs because they
It might
got
have
their
been
whole rest.
Babs.
They got
Mm.
the restaurant or something.
Yeah, cause like it could have. Oh yeah, cause it could have ended on that cliffhanger. Like, cause we knew like they were gonna be like doing well and stuff. Cause they got the money, but then we saw
Oh,
like what they did with the money.
it's because they didn't say
Yeah,
how the will.
yeah. So like that's how it ended. But then it was like, and that like the end, and then
Yeah.
and then it was like what they like. I think that's what this movie was missing. Like
Mm.
seeing like did the son make it out okay? Was he able to like go to
Um,
college, graduate? You know, the sis got locked up again. But that's it. Like that movie just like spoiled us a little bit, me a little
mhm.
bit. So like now I'm like looking like, because I just like feeling like that resolution. Like that's amazing.
And I
Like
wrote
at the
that
end of
down
the movie.
too. I wrote that down. I said it feels unresolved, but I feel like that kind of works with the
Mm,
narrative because it's a sad
it
story. At the
works.
end of the day,
Yeah.
it's like,
Hmm.
dang, they fought
I don't
so
think it took
hard.
too. I don't think it took too much from like the overall movie. Like
Yeah.
the ending did not take too much of the quality.
hmm
Hmm.
I think it's just having it be unresolved fits the motif of these two people. They're trying so hard to make this family work, but at the end of the day, they're just kids. They were growing up together, and that's so real. Like I feel like our parents too. They were growing up with us because they were just so young. Well, for me, I'll speak for
Didn't
myself.
think so though.
They didn't think so. Yeah.
Didn't think so.
hmm
Bro.
I'm just. I
Girl,
feel
hopefully
like
our parents won't find these.
I'm a I'm a block their channel soon.
Blah, blah. No. Anyways, any last thoughts though before we finish this off?
No, I feel like
No.
I said my piece because you
As
said
you
you said you wanted to
should.
watch this
As you
again.
should. Fuck yeah. Do you not?
I do.
Yeah. Also, a little shout out to the cinematography, the colors, the style, everything
Um,
visual was beautiful.
it
It
was.
tied in perfectly. The colors, it stamped in my head. It's like in the very beginning of the movie, she was like just walking the sidewalk, and we saw like that shot, like just looking up at her, like with the colorful buildings in the walker, and she was just walking on her
Mm,
business. Perfection.
New York
The
City.
cinematography was also beautiful.
You New York City looked so much like New York City, and that's not like the
Mhm.
what you think of like the pretty lights and the. It was just like
It was a hood.
it was
It was a
Brooklyn.
hood. She was like, mm-hmm.
It was so yeah.
Mm.
They did it
It
justice.
was perfect. Mm-hmm.
Realistic, like we said earlier, and now the costumes, the makeup,
Yeah.
I can't get rid
The
of the
costumes were
mole.
they're spot on. Like everything was so spot on to the community.
hmm
And it was like, okay,
The wedding,
I am at oh
I forgot about
yeah.
that was so ghetto, but so on point.
Spot
It
on.
was on the sidewalk.
Mm-hmm.
It was on. Oh my
Mm.
gosh! And he was wearing gold. He
Mm-hmm.
was wearing his little. They got married on the sidewalk, and then his death was
Mm-hmm.
also. on that sidewalk, and they were serving food. It was, I could smell it.
Mm-hmm.
At the restaurant where he was trying to pick up that chick, she gave him a little box of plantain in that little container. Like, I could taste it. It was so perfect. Authentic
Mm-hmm.
is the perfect word. You know what? That's like a key
Mm-hmm.
word.
Yeah.
Authentic. Even though
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even grow up in New York, Brooklyn, anywhere near there, it's a
That was the
universal.
hood.
It was the hood, the
Like,
universal hood.
that's hood activities. I've been to that wedding. I'm telling you,
I've
not
been to
that,
that wedding.
yo.
I've
It was
seen that
those
little
Sweet
girl.
16s.
Yep,
You've been
I've
to
seen
them
that
Sweet
little
16s
girl.
too.
I've seen that little girl at funerals who was actually the baby daddy's the daughter on the
Mm,
side who also got a plate. I've seen
mm,
that girl.
mm, that. Like, who that? Oh. Yeah.
Oh, is
That's
that
those.
Tanya? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So yes, I will
Anyways.
definitely watch it again with you if you
Yes.
ever want to go down. And I want to get more people to watch it because my thing is I want people I know to watch it, but I know if I send it to them, they're gonna be like, "Oh, so what you trying to say?" You know, like
You can't do that, girl.
I know,
You can't do it. These people are too old. They're not gonna get it.
but I want them to like
You want them to get it, but they're not gonna get it. You're just gonna get
think
your ass
so.
beat.
I should protect my
Yeah.
peace. I should protect my peace.
So
You're right.
yeah, ain't nobody watching this. When we meet more people to
Mhm.
share the love, like yo.
I feel like
But yeah, we recommend
I
this.
think
Okay.
if you're born between in the 90s up to the 2000s, this will hit for you. Because 2010s and afterwards, I don't think so. I feel like it's a bit meh. But I feel like,
I don't know. I wouldn't know. Anyways,
yeah.
maybe not. Okay, what's your final rating for this film, Jayla?
My final rating for this film is a solid 9. I really liked it.
Nine.
It's a 9. Because I do want to watch it again, but I need to prep myself. I don't like being sad, and this movie is heart wrenching.
This wasn't that sad for me, actually.
It was
It felt real instead
real.
of like
That's what it. Yeah,
sad, sad.
it's real. I don't want to be real when I
Mm,
watch movies. Really, sometimes
yeah,
I gotta prep myself.
yeah, I get that.
So yeah, 9.
I'll give it. It's hard. I was gonna give it around an 8. However, like based on me praising it so much, I feel like this is gonna be like a little fucked up.
I was about to say.
So I'm a be tied with you. Actually, I think this is our first time ever being tied
Well,
on ratings. So yeah, I'll also give it a 9.
there you
Yeah,
go.
yeah, it was perfection.
And for you to want to
I
watch
think
it
we're
again,
only not giving it higher scores is because it's too real, we're a little
yeah,
traumatized. Got a little childhood trauma, y'all. It's okay.
yeah.
But if we didn't have that, we're like, ooh,
Ugh,
yeah, no. But it was like movie. It was for this film. It was near perfect. I would say it was 100% perfect, but it was so close to 100% perfection.
mm-hmm. And
Yeah,
it's also a good movie if you don't want that like big, bright Hollywood box office movie. This feels like a
yeah,
indie. Like you'll find it in a film festival,
yeah.
and
Yeah, for sure.
mhm,
Yeah, like a Black Film Festival for
yeah.
sure, and it won. Yeah.
Oh, did it? I didn't even see. That's a
Oh no,
oh oh. It
I'm
probably
saying
did,
like it would be in a Black Film Festival, and then this will be
and
the
then it
movie
would
that
win.
yeah, and it won.
God, you.
This is that kind of
It
movie. It,
probably did.
all the other movies in that film festival, period.
Scrumptious.
Anyways,
But yeah, that's
yeah.
what it was.
Thank you so much for listening to our little ranting review. It was more of a regular review than a rant. We did rant a little bit because we always do.
Yeah.
Anyways, thank you so much. Please go watch our other videos. But yeah, it's been real. It's been Edgar.
And Jayla, and please go follow us on Instagram at the BFF Reel. And we'll see you next time.